Hey all, what's up? So I want to talk about a couple things. One, I want to answer some questions from a longtime viewer of mine, Badass 1G. I also want to talk about spirituality, and I got my tarot read yesterday, so I'd like to talk about that for a second. So first thing is, I am seeking some sort of spiritual element in my life. Most people know that I am vegan. I've been vegan for 10 years, and there's definitely a spiritual element to that, especially because I do volunteer work and activism. And there is something that's very meditative about, especially the volunteering, but just working with animals the way that I do and feeling about animals the way that I do is in some way spiritual, but I think that there is something more that I'm seeking out. I think that that would help my life be a little bit more fulfilling. So, anyway, 2 days ago, I got a tarot reading. I did it just like total spur of the moment on a whim, and it was like a cheap reading, and it was supposed to be a 30-minute reading, but we were actually in there for about 50 minutes, and I was with my coworker, which made things a little bit awkward. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit high right now, so I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open. But we went in there, and I was really surprised. It was actually a very accurate reading, and basically, of the 10 card spread, she pulled like 6 or 7 swords out, and she like leaned back and she's like, whoa. You are like a ball of anxiety, which is true. And basically there were some things that were a little bit off, but she said something like, you're trapped in this cycle and it's very dark, and it seems like there's no way out. But basically she did a lot of stuff that kind of hinted at addiction to me. I could tell that she was censoring herself a little bit because I was with my coworker. And so it was interesting. I was expecting to be more like a horoscope or something. Guess my star sign. See if you can guess, because everybody is wrong. Okay? And I'm my star sign like all the way down, like whatever all of the elements are, right? Like moon rising, Saturn in retrograde or whatever. Like I am that star sign for real, like all the way down. And I never think that it matches up. Like I don't believe in horoscopes or reading the stars at all. And I think that there's been proof out there, though, that even if that worked, it's already like a full month or two behind because it's based off a calendar with like 13 months or something. So, some shit like that. So I don't believe in horoscopes, but I do believe that there is a benefit, or can be a benefit, to that sort of spiritual thing. And I think that tarot readings or Reiki, I've had Reiki done once, and I could go into that experience a lot, but it was honestly kind of unpleasant. Like I started to get like seasick during it, which, if you know anything about Reiki, that's a little strange, you know? You're not supposed to, I don't know, but she told me that it was quite normal actually to feel that way. And I did, and so it was actually kind of an unpleasant experience, but definitely a spiritual one. So I'm not out here saying like I'm gonna start getting tarot readings all the time or start doing Reiki, but I am seeking something like that. I don't want to be part of organized religion again. I just don't really care for it. And as I said, I grew up very religious, and I've already done it, so I don't need to do it again. So that's that, and it definitely was awkward with my coworker because like she went into like my childhood and she talked I think a little less explicitly than she would have wanted to, like about my present situation. Um and I think it made my coworker a little bit uncomfortable. Like one, we were in there forever, but also it was like a very personal reading and very accurate. So the other thing I want to do is answer the question from my viewer, Badass1G, which is, what was the process of getting back on to Suboxone after I started shooting fentanyl? And how did I avoid precipitated withdrawal? I don't think that I did avoid precipitated withdrawal. Like, I got really sick for a couple days. Like, I genuinely thought I had food poisoning, but I was... I don't know if that's true. I think, like, I was just dope sick. And it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense because this doesn't seem right at all, but I felt like I was withdrawing from Suboxone while also getting high on fentanyl. And now, like, of course there's other shit in there, and it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not just addicted to Suboxone and fentanyl and painkillers, but I'm also addicted to, like, xylazine and trank, and, like, well, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm not, like, sober right now. I shot some dope today, and it's definitely got, like, a shit ton of trank in it because it is... I can't keep my eyes open, you know? That's just, like, what it is. And, sorry. I don't... Thought I heard my AC unit. And, like, I don't prefer this, but it kind of is just what I got. And how did I avoid precipitated withdrawal this last time? I don't think that I did. I felt really sick for like 3 days, and I genuinely believe that that was because I was also withdrawing from Suboxone. But this is my first time, like, doing something like this where, I mean, of course I've used, like, while I've been on Suboxone, but I haven't been doing what I'm doing now, which is, like, going back and forth between, like, shooting dope and taking Suboxone. And it was, like, a really confusing and difficult and painful experience. And I luckily I did have, like, good instruction from my doctor, and she was like, well, just gradually reintroduce your Suboxone. And so that's what I did, and that went well. Once I started taking, like, little bits of Suboxone again, I was able to hop off drugs, like what I was doing. I did have, like, 2 days where it then felt like I was withdrawing from fentanyl, but it wasn't so bad because I was on Suboxone. So I don't know, like, it was really strange. But yeah, I don't think that I avoided precipitated withdrawal, and I need to throw out my drugs because this just isn't a good situation, you know? Like, I don't want to have to go back to treatment. And, like, the dope's no good, you know, it's all dog shit. And I think the biggest thing is like, I want to feel different. I don't want to feel sober all the time. Um, and so that's why I seek something out. And I don't like any other drugs, you know? Like, if I liked drinking, I'd do that. If I liked taking speed, I'd do that, you know? But I don't. Um, I like downers. I don't like to fucking nod off like this all the time, but um unfortunately that's what seems to happen now. Um but yeah, don't like take my advice and don't do what I'm doing because it's so dumb and it goes okay like the last what maybe week and a half. um I've been like just sticking with my subs and then like every 3 or 4 days I'll like I don't know, like I'll just shoot a little bit of dope, you know, and it's not that bad, you know. If I do it like that, then I don't really get sick. Um and I don't really have any issues and like the next day I'm fine. Um but I would imagine that a point will come again where I won't be fine. So, oh my god. I don't know what to say. I mean, it kind of just is what it is. I feel like so dumb. Like I don't really know like how to stop doing this, how to get out of it. Um and I feel like every time I go back, like I'm just losing brain cells, which I'm sure I am, you know, like it's so bad for me, like physically and mentally. But it doesn't feel like I'm doing that much harm right now, which is probably like just the delusion of it all talking. But yeah, I guess that's it. All right, peace.